Assalamu alaikum, boys and girls. I'm going to start another class on the basis of physics. In my today's class, I'm going to discuss a creative question on chapter number 12, and that is magnetic effect of current. I'm going to start a new creative question, okay? And this is the first creative question on the basis of this chapter, on the basis of electric transformer. Now, there is a creative question is given in the board. You see, there's a transformer is given here. The electromotive force in the primary coil is here, 240 volt, and number of coil in the primary coil is here, 50 number of coil, or 50 number of turns here. And the number of voltage in the secondary coil is 80 volt, and amount of current in the secondary coil is here, 0.9 ampere. And there are some questions following to this figure, and that is question number A. What is called magnetic effect of current? What is called magnetic effect of current? And then question number B. What do you understand by electric motor? What do you understand by electric motor? Is the question number B. Now question number C. Calculate electric current in the primary coil. Calculate electric current in the primary coil. And question number D. Do you think power of the primary coil will equal to power of the secondary coil? Number D question is here. Do you think power of the primary coil will equal to power of the secondary coil? Now, I'm going to solve this creative question. I'm starting from question number A. Starting from question number A. So, question number A. The question is here, what is called magnetic effect of current? What is called magnetic effect of current? You know, when electricity flows through a electric wire, I repeat, you know that when electricity flows through an electric wire, okay, then you know that that particular electric wire can produce a magnetic field around it. What does it mean? A current carrying wire can produce magnetic field around it, and this effect is called magnetic effect of current. And this effect is called magnetic effect of current. So I can say that a current carrying wire, a current carrying wire can produce magnetic field around it. Is called magnetic effect of current. Magnetic effect of current. So, if I say that, what is called magnetic effect of current? I can say here, a current carrying wire can produce magnetic field around it. This property, or it is called magnetic effect of current. This property, or it is called magnetic effect of current. Now, my second question is here. What do you understand by electric motor? You see, boys and girls, motor means what? Motor means what? The machine, the electric device, which can use electricity, okay? But there's a condition here. You see, electricity is used by the resistance and also motor. So there are some difference in between resistance and motor. You see, no electromagnetic effect or some amount of electromagnetic effect takes part on the basis of resistance, okay? But this electrical motor always runs by using the electromagnetic force of electricity. That means that the machine, the device which can consume electricity, the electromagnetic setup or device or motor or system which can use electricity, okay? This is called electric motor, which is called electric motor, okay? And the example of electric motor is here. You see, electrical fan is the electric motor. The pump to raise up electricity, to raise water, is also electric motor, okay? So electric motor means what? The device, okay? The device or the system or the setup, electrical setup or structure which can use electricity, which can consume electricity, okay, and which can run by using electricity, okay. That is called electric motor. So electric motor can consume electricity. So electric motor can consume electricity, okay. Now I'm going to draw the structure of electric motor, okay. Simple structure of electric motor, okay. So this is the a magnet, and this another magnet, and these two are the horse to magnet, okay. These two are the two horse to magnet, and this if I make it more clear, then you can see this is the north pole. Then you can see these two are the two poles of a horse to magnet, okay. These are the two poles of a horse to magnet, okay. Let's take this north pole of the magnet, and let's take this the south pole of the magnet, okay. You see, if you take the north pole and south pole very close to each other, if you take north pole and south pole very close to each other, okay, then you see that these two poles can throw or can produce a magnetic field around it, and this magnetic field indicate that they can throw the magnetic lines of force. So these two can throw the magnetic lines of force. So magnetic lines of force flows from the north pole to the south pole. Magnetic lines of force flows from the north pole to the south pole, okay. So this is the direction of magnetic lines of force. This is the direction of magnetic lines of force. And if you take a plate, and this is a plate, okay. And if you take a plate inside this magnet, inside this horse magnet, okay. And by using electricity, if you pass electricity from this direction, from this particular direction to this particular direction, okay, then you see that after some time this plate rotates, starts rotating here, okay. After some time you see that this plate starts to rotate here, okay. Say if this magnet is fixed, then because of produced electromagnetic force, this coil starts to rotate. Okay. Or if you fix this coil, then you say that this magnetic field rotates here. Okay. So in the case of electrical fan, the magnetic field rotates here. And the case of water pump, I repeat, in the case of water pump, this coil rotates here. Okay. This coil rotates there. Okay. So because of this rotating, it can consume electricity and can produce some electric work done. Okay. That's why this setup is called electric motor. So electric motor is this particular device, and this particular device can run only by using electricity. Okay. So this is called electric motor. Now I'm going to solve question number C. What's in this? At question number C, you see. At question number C, what's in this? You see that calculate electric current in the primary coil. You see here, primary electromotive force is given. Primary number of coil is given. Secondary electromotive force is given, and secondary current is given. The total formula of a transformer, I repeat, the total formula of, or the general formula of a transformer, that is, if I write down here just like this, that is EP divided by S. EP divided by S, it will equal to, I can say, NP divided by NS, or it will equal to here IS divided by IP, or it will equal to here root over RP divided by RS. Okay, this is the total formula or general formula of a transformer. Now, by using which formula, at first I'm going to select here, I'm going to decide here. Okay, by using which formula, I want to find out the primary electric current of the primary coil. What does it mean? It means that you want to find out the value of IP. Since you have to find out the value of IP, that's why obviously you want to use this part of the formula. That is IS divided by IP. that is IS divided by IP. So if you use IS divided by IP, then obviously you can say that IS divided by IP, it will equal to, it will equal to, if you use NP by NS, you see that NP is given here, but NS is not given here. You see, NP is given here, but NS is not given here. That's why you cannot use here NP by NS formula. So this is not applicable part. This is not applicable part. And here also, the resistance for the case of primary coil and the resistance for the case of secondary coil, this is not given. That's why we cannot use this part of formula here. We cannot use this part of formula here. Okay. So obviously we must use here which part? That is EP is given here and ES is given here. So with that we can also use EP and ES. So at first I've decided we're going to use this formula EP by ES equal to IS by IP. EP by ES equal to IS by IP by find out the electric current of the primary coil. By find out the electric current of the primary coil. Okay. Now EP, to write down EP divided by S, it will equal to here IS divided by IP. It will equal to here IS divided by IP. Now the value of IP. Now the value of IP. If you want to find out the value of IP, then you must cross multiply here. So IP into EP. IP into EP will equal to IP into EP will equal to IS into ES. IS into ES. And then you are going to find out the value of IP here. Then you are going to find out the value of IP here. Okay. So the value of IP, it will equal to, I can say, IS into ES divided by EP. Divided by EP. Now these two values given, you see, EP equal to 240 volt, ES equal to 8 volt, and IC equal to 0.9 ampere. IC equal to 0.9 ampere. Now, by using those values, we can find out easily the amount of electric current in the primary coil. That is IC equal to here 0.9 into ES equal to here 8 volt. ES equal to here 8 volt, and EP equal to here 240 volt. EP equal to here 240 volt. Now, what will be the answer? Please calculate this and then find out the answer of primary coil or electric current for the primary coil. Then you see electric current for the primary coil is approximately 0.03 ampere. I repeat, after doing calculation, you can say that electric current for the case of primary coil will equal to 0.03 ampere. 0.03 ampere. Okay. This is the electric current for the case of primary coil. Okay. Now, in question number D, do you think, I repeat, do you think electric power of primary coil? Do you think electric power of primary coil will equal to electric power of secondary coil? I repeat, electric power of primary coil will equal to electric power of secondary coil. Now, I'm going to show this that for a transformer, electric power for the case of primary coil, it will equal to electric power for the case of secondary coil. So let's start our journey. Let's start our journey. Okay. Now, boys and girls, goes to question number D. You know that from previous chapter, you can find out very easily the formula of electric power. If I use that formula of electric power, then I can say that the formula of electric power P will equal to V into R will equal to V square divided by R will equal to I square into R will equal to W divided by T. You know that these are the formula or my tools here. Okay, these are the formula or my tools here to find out electric power of any kind of coil. To find out electric power of any kind of coil. Okay. Now, if I use here a voltage V, then I need to know In this particular case, voltage V is replaced by electromotive force. I repeat, in this particular case, voltage V is replaced by electromotive force. Okay. Now, since voltage V is replaced by electromotive force, okay, so I can use electromotive force instead of voltage V. Then the formula of power P will be here E into I. Here E into I will equal to here E square divided by R will equal to here I square into R will equal to here W divided by T. So this is the more convenient formula that I use here. Okay. The next step I have to select. By using which formula we are going to find out. I repeat, the next step I want to select by using which formula we are going to find out the electric power of this given transformer. Okay. You see here IP will equal to, for our last question, 0.03 ampere. IP will equal to, from answer C, 0.03 ampere. Now, for both of these two sides here, voltage and current is given. For both of these two sides here, voltage and current is given. Okay, EP is given, IP is given. ES is given, here IS is given. Okay, now for both of these two sides here, E and I is given. So I'm going to select this formula. Here, if I go to start the journey from electric work done, then you see there is the electric work is given. So I cannot use W by T. There is the electric work is given. So I cannot use here W by T. The next step, I square into R. You know, boys and girls, to use the formula I square into R, I need to use here I need to find out here the resistance R. Since the resistance R is not given for the case of both primary and secondary coil. That's why to use this formula, it will take a long journey. Okay, that's why I can use this formula I square into R. Now, can I use square divided by R? Can I use here square divided by R? Also here, to use the formula square divided by R, I need to use here the resistance of the primary coil as well as the resistance of the secondary coil. Okay, I need to use here the resistance of the primary coil as well as the resistance of the secondary coil. Okay, that's why no need to use, I can use this formula here, square divided by R, because to use this path is a long journey. So by using which path, I find out electric power for the case of primary and secondary coil. It must be here E into I. It must be here E into I. Now I'm going to find out electric power for the case of primary coil. So here, first P stands for the power and the subscript P stands for the case of primary coil. I repeat here, first P stands for the case of power, electric power, and second P that stay at the bottom surface. This P represent the primary coil. Okay. Now P of P will equal to, I can say here, EP into IP. Why EP? Because electromotive force in the case of primary coil, it must be equal to EP, and current will equal to IP. Okay, that's why P of P will equal to EP into IP. EP equal to 240 volt. EP equal to here 240 volt. So here 240 volt. Now the electric current equal to 0.03 ampere will give you the total power in the primary section of the coil. Now by multiplying these two terms, you can say that the total power of the primary coil will equal to 7.2 watt. The total power of the primary coil will equal to 7.2 watt. So it will equal to here 7.2 watt is the total power in the primary coil. I repeat here, why I use the formula E into I? Because before selecting your formula, at first you need to sort, you need to find out, okay, your available information here. You see, your available information is here, at first current is here, and then electromotive force is here, okay. So by using current and electromotive force, I repeat, by using current and electromotive force, you can say that electrical power for the case of primary coil will equal to EP into IP. Will equal to EP into IP. Okay, and this must be equal to 7.2 watt. This must be equal to 7.2 watt. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to find out the electrical power for the case of secondary coil. Now I'm going to find out the electrical power for the case of secondary coil. Okay, so electrical power for secondary coil, that is PS, will equal to power for secondary coil. PS will equal to power for secondary coil. Okay, so power for secondary coil will equal to ES into IS. I repeat, power for secondary coil will equal to ES into IS. Now, ES equal to 240 volt. No, ES equal to here 8 volt is given. And this must be here yes, yes. So, ES equal to 8 volt. Okay. Now, 8 volt is the value of ES, and then the current goes through the secondary coil. It is 0.9 ampere. So this is 0.9 ampere. If you multiply this term, then you see that the value is here 7.2 watt. The value is here 7.2 watt. Now, in summary part. Now, if you make a summary here at question number D, that electrical power for the case of primary coil is 7.2 watt, and electrical power for the case of secondary coil is also 7.2 watt. So this information indicate you that this transformer follows that its primary power will equal to its secondary power. Its primary power will equal to its secondary power. Okay. Now, question number D is correct. The statement of question number D is correct. Okay. That's why you can say that the electrical power of primary coil will equal to electrical power of the case of secondary coil. Now your homework. Okay. I'm going to give you a homework. Your homework that you are going to solve this question or this type of question at your home. Your homework is you are going to solve similar this type of question. You are going to solve similar this type of question at your home. This is your homework. But remember, please, the information changes here. At first EP, this EP is equal to, I think, 220 volt. And then here NP is equal to 150 coil. 150 coil here. And then ES equal to here, say 150 volt. And IS equal to here 2.5 ampere. IS equal to here 2.5 ampere. Okay. By using this step, boys and girls, by using this step, you are going to solve that particular question at your home. I repeat that question again. Question number A. What is called magnetic effect of current? What is called magnetic effect of current? Now, question number B. What do you understand by electric motor? What do you understand by electric motor? Now, question number C. Calculate electric current in primary coil. Calculate electric current in primary coil. And question number D. Do you think the electric power of the primary coil will equal to the electric power of the secondary coil? I repeat question number D again. Do you think the electric power of the primary coil will equal to electric power of the secondary coil? Explain mathematically. Thank you very much. Thanks to all, and keep study at your home.